Swami. This is the second video I've given. Before this is Bhagavad Gita, Metaphysical Art of War. In that first one I explained that the first chapter was mainly about the arena, the placement and complicated arrangement of the warriors. And on the whole of the chapter, what was the gist of it? That Arjuna is in a conflicting state. He got to choose between the two, his people and good people. Now this is the second chapter. This was a book I had when I was training with Naval Dogs and staying at Mumbai. I was traveling from Konkad Bhavan to Mankur by bus. I was reading this book. I was so engrossed in that I didn't know whether I was in bus, where I was. There was no bus, there were no people. As if all have gone away, they were not there. And I then took a ticket. All of a sudden in the midst, ticket checker came and I didn't know. Although I knew him, but yet I didn't know. The state was that I was there, but I was not there. In fact, it was as if, again, the state which is philosophically defined, not material. And people told me, I don't know any one of them, as if it was like as all of the people were same, although there were different people on the bus. They told me, brother, you just be there, you don't get down, as if they knew who am I. And then when the ticket checker went away and the bus went on a further station stop, people told me, okay, brother, please you get down now. And I got down. And when I got down from the bus, I recollected what had happened, as if it was as a face passing in front of the mind, although I was aware of that happening, but yet I was not aware. It is a very different thing to explain into words, because it is a kind of thing where you are in a different space, you speak from different space, as Arvind Ghosh has put in his works, You come on, all of a sudden you touch to a higher periphery of the whole cosmos. So that was my first experience with this book. Even my father had very varied experiences on this. My father was staying at Santa Cruz with someone from Hills. This man used to recite every day a chapter from this. One day he forgot to go at his job, and he recited all 18 chapters of this. And then when my father went to home, he said, what happened today? Didn't go for a job? He said, okay, I'll go, I forgot. And when he went, his in charge said, are you gone mad or are you drunk? Because you only a whole day you worked and you have done his signature. Then he told my father, okay, then that Lord takes care of everything. I'll go and search for them only. I don't want this mundane world. And he left them. Now, this was the second experience I told you about. And the first one, there's one more experience I could have told in the first chapter explanation. There was a lady, a radioisotope scientist. Her son was with me. We were practicing martial arts. She thought that she was doing a research on a radioisotope, on an instrument searching where the radioisotope is traversing. And she thought that, oh my God, why am I wasting my time? Who am I in this whole cosmos? Let me search that. And he resigned the job of scientist and he went to Himalayas, she went to Himalayas in search of that. So there are many such experiences on this Bhagavad Gita, and that's why I already on my primary schools I translated this. And I wanted to be in tune with, and I made the subject Vajramukti, combining martial arts, yoga and all this stuff and giving it a name from action to liberation. That's why I call Bhagavad Gita not Bhagavad Gita but Metaphysical Art of War, something like that, to put it in its reality, because it's a various book. So the second chapter also is the same. First chapter, Arjuna, the hero of the bad guys, is in a dilemma between his own people to whom he is attached to and the good people. Second chapter, again the same thing that goes on. Now, same thing. And in the second chapter, the second chapter, this same book I have worked on, read for a long time. I have written my own justifications into it. Although I like few slokas of that, I have just of the second chapter. But in fact, I can recite the full chapter for you, for all my people. But then I'll even read gist of it rather than going through the full chapter, because there are many people who have written the books. You can go through that anyway. Now Sanjaya says, Tam tatha kripaya vistam ashupurna kuleksham vishidantam idam vakyam vacha madhusudanaha. Now Arjuna is full of tears, and Vishidantam means he is in a state of conflicting state, and he is crying, because he is quite attached with his grandfather, his uncles, his own people, and by his modification of his mind, he told Krishna about his attachment and about his feeling that what will happen if I kill those people, and where they will go, the females of them, and what will be now the Varnasankara, the bastards, and the society where it will go to. So again he is crying and he is telling to Krishna that he is in a state of conflict, he don't want to fight. Even if he gets a kingdom, what is the point in such kingdom where he will kill many people and he will have that karma, a bad karma of his, how he will rise as a soul. So Lord Krishna explains him, Kutastva kasmalam midam vishame sam upastitam anarya justam asvargyam akirti karma Arjuna. Sri Arjuna, at this time, when we are at the midst of the war, from where this kind of thought process had come into your mind? This is a wrong time. And the Aryans, the higher people, don't think about this at the arena. You see, war, you might have seen a movie by Tom Cruise, The Last Samurai. That was the war between Japanese and Red Indians. Japanese and the British officer who wrote the story. They were all inspired. The Japanese king was inspired by the Red Indians' warfare with the people from Western region. They think that those Red Indians were very powerful. But I think this book is what Bhagavad Gita, this works, is even higher than that, even higher than Sun Tzu's Art of War, because this is metaphysical art of war which I have put into my works. Now, higher than this, if I have seen anything on warfare, is war by Sri Guru Gobind Singh. Guru Gobind Singh, what he war with just 20,000 people or 20 people with 5 lakhs people. If you put in a Google, you can see Guru Gobind Singh's war. He war with very less people, say around 20 people with lakhs of people. Nowhere in the history such a kind of battle has been declared or been explained anywhere. That was a great point. It's even higher than the work I'm talking about. Now, this is more philosophical, because in the midst of the war, this hero is asking, and he's totally shattered by the thought, by the dilemma of attachment. And he explains him, Arjuna, see what kind of attachment you have at this state, where you are being an Arya, the higher race. You are supposed to fight at this time. You should not get away from the state. And Krishna goes on explaining why and what, and Arjuna goes on asking for this whole Gita. So I won't go all the slokas, I will go main slokas, which has got interrelations with the talk which I am giving on the subject Vajramukti, or how it affects the Kriya Yoga, and the philosophy, how you can enhance your day-to-day living and you can even transmute yourself into energy. You can make it new, those things, like if you read Autobiography of Yogi, Mahatma Babaji is still living, he's like 16 years old, although I'm not practicing that, because I'm practicing the sound system of Radha Sound philosophy. But that's why I will go to the slokas which are the prime and heart of second chapter or even the Bhagavad Gita, which have been even told by those masters. Now these slokas tell you the exact meaning of Gita. They take you to the heart. I'll go to that straight away. One sloka I can put into, like after this, when Sri Krishna says, Arjuna says, Katam Bhishmam Aham Sankhe Dodam Cha Madhusudana Ishurya Pratiyotsyami Puja Arha Varisudana. Because Arjuna had for high regards for people like Bhishma, his grandfather. He was worship him, and how can he fight with him? Yes, that's right. That's with all of us. We can all belong to that, because that kind of attachment we can also have. We are having. Now, main basic is on the first video which I have told. This body, this is a small cosmos, and we are fighting with 5 enemies, which, if we highly evolve, they go out of our body as boys. I've explained it. Same way as Moss used to talk with his knee, as if knee is a separate entity. Now we'll go to the slokas which I feel is the gist of Bhagavad Gita. There the Arjuna asks Krishna, Sthipragyasya bhasa samadhistasya keshava stitadhi kim prabhashet kim masi vrajetu kim. Now Arjuna says, the man who has attained that Sthipragya, or that state of samadhi, how he speaks, Sthipragyasya bhasa samadhistasya keshava, the one who has attained the state of samadhi. O Keshava, Krishna, tell me how he speaks. Stitadhi kim prabhashet, how he interacts or talks. Kim masi, how he sits. Vrajetu kim, how he walks. That's what Arjuna asked Lord Krishna. Now Sri Krishna Vacha, how Krishna says, Prajahati yada kamam sarvan partha manogatan Atmanyeva atmana tusta sthipragyastadu uchyate. Now the man who he's happy and he is content within himself. He's attained samadhi. He's content within himself. He's content with every state of his being. He's happy with whatever he's had. He doesn't get affected by the changes. He's attained that changeless state. You see that that's shown by giving a punch and telling that kind of state where is stillness in actions. The person who has attained the state of samadhi is that kind of person. He is happy within his being, happy with and content with whatever he has. He doesn't have to get affected by the change of the cosmos. Such is that man, Krishna says. Dukkeshu anujugnamanaha sukheshu vigatspraha vitraga vaikrodha siddhir munirochyate. The one who doesn't get affected by the sorrows, dukkha, and also by sukha. The happiness, state of happiness and state of sorrow, they don't affect him. Or either the state of fear or attachment, all these states where he is totally relaxed, it doesn't affect him. Such is the position of that man who is Sthipragya, who has attained samadhi. Yah sarvatran visnehas tat tat pravisubhasubham na abhinandanti na dvesti tasya pragya pradhisthita. Now that man who doesn't get affected by good or bad results, and neither he cries on the bad, neither he is very happy on the good. He is not affected by these changes. His pragya is being pradhishtha. he is an attained person. That's what Krishna says. Then he further explains, Yada samharte chayam kurmo angani sarvasah indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pradesthita. Now he gives an explanation by tortoise. Like you see the tortoise, he takes his all the other legs and hands inside and keeps his outer cell covered and goes inside, not affected by other organisms. Same way, this being who has attained that state, his outer covering is impenetrable. He is not getting affected by the sense organs due to his practice and control. He keeps the subjects of the sense organs separately and he doesn't get affected by sense organs. And such a person's state is attained. That's why he says, Tasya pragya pradesthita indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pradesthita. He further explains, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasvarjam rasovapyas param društva nivartate. He just shakes his sense organs as if they are nothing to him, and he is not affected by even as if he is not affected by hunger or any such state wherein he is fulfilled or he is empty. Whatever state he is being into, he is not affected by those states. Yatato hevi kaunteya purusascha vipaschitah indriyani pramathini haranti prasavam manah. Because these sense organs, they are very dangerous. When they get affected, they control first the mind of a person. You see, when they get control on the mind, they pull down by mind, they pull the mind of a person, and subsequently the person comes down. He further explains, Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matparah vasehi yasya indriyani tasya pragya pradesthita. He says, you control all those sense organs and sit down meditating on me. One whose sense organs are controlled, he is attained that state, tasya pragya pradesthita. Further explanation given by Krishna. Dhyayato vishayan punsah sangastesh upajayate sangat sanjayate kamah kamat krodho abhijayate. He says, when you meditate about subjects of the sense organs, dhyayato vishayan punsah sangastesh upajayate, then you have a desire to be in company with things related to the sense organs. Then with that company, sangat sanjayate kama, you acquire lust. Kama krodho abhijayate, and with that lust you get anger, you acquire anger. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smrati vibhramaha. By that anger you get an attachment, and sammohat smrati vibhramaha. By that attachment your memory is lost. Smrati vibhramsa, when your memory is lost, is destroyed. Buddhinasho, your intellect doesn't work, it is gone. Buddhinashat pranashyati, then when your intellect doesn't work, you go for an act where your sense organs takes you. You can take, say it as a total act. You go for doing it actually. Ragadvesa viyuktastu vishayanindriyascharana atmavashya viheyatma prasada madhigacchati. Now, raga is attachment, dvesa is away, kind of anger, These all are kind of wish or poison. Now, a person who has attained control his sense organs, that man is beyond these. And he's happy, he's controlled because he's beyond this and he's under the control of soul. Now that's just kind of prasada to him, bliss to him. Prasade sarva dukkhana hanirasyo kujayate prasanna chetaso hyasu buddhya paryavatistate. Now, when you get that prasada, that is prasada of soul, sarva dukkhanam hanirasyo kujayate, your all unhappiness doesn't remain there, it's gone, and your consciousness is full of happiness. Nasti buddhir yuktasya na chayuktasya bhavana na chabhavayata shantir shantasya kuta sukham. One who doesn't get that, his consciousness is unhappy, and where there is happiness for that kind of person? Indriyanam hi charatam yan mano anuvidhiyate tadasya harti pragyam vajramukti vambhasi. That kind of person who moves on in sense organs, how can he control? How can he get happiness? His intellect, pragya, is being taken away by sense organs. Tasmad yasya mahabaho nigrahitani sarvasah indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratisthita. That is why a whole big warrior controlled those sense organs. That is why Krishna explains them to control the sense organs and their attributes and their subjects, so you don't fall into that play and you become the same who is attained self-state, astit pragya. Apurima achal pratistham samudrama pravishanti yadvat pravishanti yadvat tatvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti nakamukami. Then he explains like how all rivers go back into the sea. Same way the person who is controlled his sense organs, he goes back to his soul and he is beyond the subjects of that, and he's got that silence, that peace. That is the kind of yardstick you can say that the person has attained. Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumans charati nihaspraha niramamo nirahankara sashanti madhikachati. That person who has control over his desires, he becomes away from attachment and he becomes away from ego and he moves with relaxation and peace. Esham brahmi sthitiya partha nayanam papya vimuhyati sthitva antukale api brahma nirvanam gacchati. Krishna says, O Partha, O warrior Arjuna, this state, one who attains this Esham Brahmi Sthiti Nayanam Prapya, one who gets that, he doesn't come back. He gets attainment of a state of Brahma. And that's the gist of book of Metaphysical Art of War, the second chapter. It's mainly a gist of the Bhagavad Gita and the Metaphysical Art of War, from where I derive the philosophy and many of the sources of books from the Orient. Thank you, Swami.